Welcome to the Samuel Leeds podcast, and this week I sit down with Ricci Mandal. He's quite a character, and I think this is a podcast that you're going to enjoy, so stay tuned. Ricci Mandal.
Samuel Leeds.
Dude, I've had you on my YouTube show too many times.
I feel like it's my show.
People are cussing me out. They're saying, why do you keep getting this dude on the show? Like, he gives no value whatsoever.
Do you know what, it's funny, someone said to me the other day, have you taken over Samuel's YouTube channel? And I was like, yeah, and I'm going to keep on doing the same.
Do it, I love it. So what do you have to say then? You're here, now's your time.
Listen, we're here, we're just having a chat, we're doing some training stuff.
What's your big message? What's your value piece?
My value piece is, just do what you want to do in life and enjoy it.
Yeah? You know what, one of the reasons people respect you so much is because you've become very successful in property, but also you speak really well. And I've been literally having you at my crash courses, sharing and sharing your story. And in all seriousness, people have said to me, are you not threatened by this dude? He can speak better than you on stage. But for me, that's a compliment, because I'm thinking if my students can literally speak on stage, control the energy of the room, get people pumped, give content and value, and people are becoming successful in property now. They're messaging you.
Yeah.
Like, I used to get those messages. I still do get the messages more than ever, but you're now getting the messages. I'm financially free because of you, Ricci.
Yeah.
Like, how does that feel to get those kind of messages when you've only been in property yourself less than 2 years?
It's humbling, man. It's why I wanted to speak on stage, to help other people. And I think you shouldn't see it as a threat to you, because you're the one that trained me to speak. So really,
you know me, I'm not threatened by anyone.
Oh, I know you. Of course you're not.
Because the people who are my competition, okay, here are the people. People say like, oh, there's another training company. Great.
Yeah.
0.1% of people go on training companies to become financially free. The people that I'm arguing against are the universities that can't teach money, the schools that can't teach money, the fake teachers, as Robert Kiyosaki would say, the banks that are saying, we'll lend you 20 grand to go on holiday, but we won't lend you 20 grand to buy an investment property.
But it's a good thing people are saying, like, oh, to you, maybe Ricci is a bit of competition, or is he a threat because you've taught me well then? Because it's like, when you teach people property, if people aren't good in property, you haven't done your job. You taught me how to do property, you taught me how to speak, and I'm getting compliments and messages about both that I'm doing well. So you've done your job well. Yeah. To help me.
What kind of salary? Taking everything into account. I know you're doing your deal sourcing. You got your rent to rent. You got your own personal property portfolio stuff. You got the stuff that you're doing with your parents on the development side. Yeah. What kind of salary or what kind of amount of money are you expect to be taking this year?
Everything. A lot more than last year.
Okay, how much?
Let me see.
Oh, dude, what? This is like basic information.
You know, it's calculations, bro. Because we're all about being specific.
Everything, as in all the stuff that you're doing this year.
Oh, I'm looking at. Don't let that phone camera see my phone there, because you'll see my figures and stuff. But I'm looking at 6 figures.
6 figures this year. Do you know what's so funny? There's such an awkwardness in working class families around asking people about their income and their salary, or their net worth. It's like so taboo, and I feel like even you were uncomfortable when I just asked that question.
Yeah.
Why? What do you think? Do you think it's a bad thing or a good thing? Because sometimes, there's this one dude who said to me, I think he saw one of my Facebook videos or something, and he commented and he said, I'll believe you when I see $1 million in your bank.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Yeah.
And then what did I do? I screenshot over $1 million in my bank, and I just posted it. That was it. Bang.
Yeah.
And then he came back and was like, oh yeah, well, you probably just got it from being a rip-off landlord and this, and it's like, you just cannot win. Yeah. And now, like, because people challenge me all the time, like, oh, I've gone on company's house and I can't, and I'm like, and I've explained this over and over again, that when you buy a house, unless you trade it or buy it through a company, it's not on company's house. Yeah. And I think people are just so, if people ask me how much I'm earning because they want to be inspired, like you go through my bank statements and stuff out of inspiration. Yeah. You're like, I want to be inspired. But if people want to do it to try and desperately find a way of trying to discredit you to then justify their own excuses, I'm not even interested in the conversation.
Yeah, I think it's just the way I've been brought up, and the way that the people I've been around, and it's just how it is. Yeah. But I remember when I first met you, and I was very skeptical to begin with. After the crash course, before I joined the academy, I was like, show me your results, like show me what you're doing, But you weren't afraid, and I'm just getting over that barrier. I'm just getting over it.
I think as well, more than anything, is don't even look to me. Like, I'm teaching people to become financially free, okay? You can look at me and you can look at what I'm doing, but more importantly than that, look at my students. Like, go on Winners Wednesday and see every single week someone's success story of financial freedom or whatever. Look at their stories, because how successful I am, I could be a billionaire But that doesn't mean that I'm going to help you become successful.
Yeah.
So more important than anything is, okay, of course I need to have been there, done it, got the t-shirt myself, which is kind of obvious. I own a castle,
Yeah.
But is how are my students getting along? And you're one of my students.
Yeah.
You didn't know what a mortgage was when we met.
No.
You thought a mortgage was something that was attached onto that.
I thought it was like a box in the corner.
That is so funny.
Like looking around, where's this mortgage?
That's so funny. So, all right, talk to me. Give me some...
I want to ask you a question.
Go on.
Because you asked me about finance. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I've heard you say before, you want to be on the Forbes list.
Well, I mean...
What was it?
Dude, I think it would be kind of cool to be on the Forbes list. What's your point, bro?
I want to know when by. When if that's a goal, when are you going to hit that goal?
I don't even actually know what you need to do to get on.
I don't either.
Forbes list. So,
what's your next goal? You tell me what your next goal is.
My next goal. Okay. Dude, wow, you've put me on the spot now, bro. Okay, my next goal right now, I want to do 2 deals this year in 2020 that make a minimum of £1 million clean profit for me each deal.
Okay.
That's my goal this year.
And so my goal then is to be in on one of them deals with you.
Okay.
I've just set myself a new goal.
Okay. So how are you going to do that?
That's XYZ. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. But that's one of my goals now. Okay. Then
I'm sure we can do it.
This just turned from like a podcast to a goal setting session.
That's good. That's good.
Also, I set another goal when I got here because, by the way, where you live is like phenomenal.
This house,
unbelievable.
Have you not been here before?
No, it's the first time.
Okay.
I've never had an invite.
Well, welcome to my home.
Thanks. Literally never had an invite.
See, is that inspiration?
Yeah.
You know I don't own this house though.
Yeah, no, because we rent where we live.
Yeah, I rent this place, and that's another thing. Sometimes people say like, "Oh, you just rent." It's like, dude, I don't just rent. Like, I own a lot of properties. I choose to rent this as a commercial decision, but the rent on this house is not cheap. You know, it's really expensive, but it's covered for in my passive income.
Well, it's, what's the saying? It's rent where you live and buy where you rent.
Yeah,
so that's what it's a smarter way to do it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
For me, like where I sleep and where I'm based and stuff is like a hotel almost. Like this place, okay, I'm here right now.
I mean, it's big enough to be a hotel.
But I don't see this place as like... I do see it as a home, but it's not a forever home.
So how long do you think you're going to be here and where do you see yourself moving to? Is there anywhere like...
I'm in the process of getting another place already. I'll stay here, but I'm actually looking at apartments in central London. So I'll get like a...
Yeah, because I was going to ask you this. So the offices are based in central London. Everything happens in central London, really.
Yeah.
How come you don't live closer to central London?
I'm like 20 minutes away.
Yeah, I know, but what made you think, okay, I'm not going to actually live in central London so I can walk out the door and be at the offices?
I think it's just because where I live, like Beaconsfield, is just really peaceful. I mean, even now, all I can hear when I stop talking is the birds outside.
And the rain, which was actually one of the laptops on the side.
Yeah. So I think it's just peace and quiet.
It's nice.
And you know what? You actually achieve a lot more when you can put yourself in situations where it's peaceful. That's where my thinking time happens. London is where I go to work.
Yeah.
And I want a pad in London. I'm looking at apartments and stuff. But then at home, when I'm in my peaceful home, that's where I come up with a lot of the ideas.
So have you got like an ideas room? Because you haven't even shown me around yet.
I'll show you around after.
Okay, so is there like a room in the house where you go to sit down and jot down your ideas?
I've got an office and stuff, but it's not even like that. It's just wherever I am. I can be in the kitchen or the lounge. I'm just in a place of peace, and I'm just coming up with ideas and being. If I'm on holiday, when I get back from holiday, then I'm like, boom! I've got so many ideas. And then I'll go and make it happen in central London, where all the people are. And I can delegate everything, and I can appoint people, and I can make it happen in London. And then I'll come back, escape into the quiet, and then go to town with my notebook.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's kind of how I live my life.
It's interesting. Have you got like a gym here and stuff?
I have kind of got a gym, but it's just not kitted out yet.
Right, should have bought my gym.
It's a gym room.
Okay.
/ Amelia's bedroom.
Amelia's bedroom?
No, I just when we worked really late and I pretended it was her bedroom and there was just a little mat on the floor. I was like, "Is this okay for you?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then I told her that it wasn't really her bedroom.
Okay.
Just a prank.
Okay. So I feel like I'm gonna like dictate in this podcast, which is pretty cool. This is like your one is on a Wednesday.
This is the Ricci Mandal podcast.
I saw some books on the side in there.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. But what are you reading at the minute?
I'm reading quite a lot. Do you know what I'm reading at the moment, actually? I'm reading a book about Vince McMahon.
WWE?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I think it's called Death by Territories.
Okay.
And it's about how WWF and WWE was started. And the reason I'm interested in that is just because it's a in the title, worldwide, any organisation that can get that big and become that worldwide interests me.
Yeah.
So I'll often read biographies of people, like Richard Branson, who started Virgin, Steve Jobs, those types of people and those kind of businesses that have global impact really interest me. So I'm just studying Vince McMahon right now.
So do you just read or do you watch as well?
I read, listen, watch, discuss. Yeah.
I'm reading a pretty cool book. It's Grant Cardone. Actually, I'm listening to it on Amazon Books, whatever it is. It's Grant Cardone's, I think it's called The Survival...
Yep.
Survival.
Yeah. No. Great book.
Really good. Really good. Because in life, I think everything sells. So you need to learn how to sell.
Even in property.
And even if it's not just a product, it might be... Yeah. But it might be selling yourself to someone as a brand. Selling your idea to someone. Yeah. Selling an opportunity. Anything. So, which is why I started reading that, because everything sells.
I agree. Everything is people. Property business is a people business.
Yeah.
You don't get paid from property. You get paid from people that might live in the property or buy the property. But if you don't know how to communicate with people, then you're not going to get money.
What's the best skill someone could have as a person? You got communication. You can be a good communicator. You could be good at sales. What do you think maybe the top 3 skills and assets someone should have?
Great question. I think deal analysis is really good. Like being able to analyse a deal and work out the numbers. It's a skill that I had to learn. And I think that's just basic maths. So for instance, in property, what's the rent? What's the value? What's the return on investment going to be? What's the risk? What's that all that deal analysis stuff's really...
And I would have really struggled with that.
Yeah.
But with the academy training and stuff, that just makes that part a whole lot easier to learn.
Because it's actually simple.
Yeah.
It's very, very simple.
You just have to know what you're doing.
Yeah. You do. You just have to know the formulas. So knowing the formulas, and everything I teach is all about formulas anyway. So knowing the formulas, I think that's a skill.
Yeah.
Secondly, would be I would say just more rather than a skill, more of an attitude. I think having an attitude of gratitude. Okay, like where you just are grateful and thankful.
Yeah.
I think that will serve you so well because I run a company with 42 people in it across the boards and the companies. If I was like an entitled, you don't want entitled employees, but you also don't want an entitled manager.
Yeah.
And I think if you're like entitled and not grateful, people are going to resent you. And if people resent you, it's a really bad thing. Even tenants, you don't want tenants to think that you're a greedy landlord. And just the smallest things, like just sending a Christmas card and saying, I appreciate you as a tenant, give us a shout if it
goes a long way.
It goes a long way. Yeah. Costs £1 and you can systemize it and you mean it, but having a heart that is just grateful for your staff and for your tenants and for your colleagues and for your trainers. Same with trainers, like people that have mentored me. Like Simon Zushi, for instance, he sort of started me off in property. He didn't do loads in terms of but what he did do made it in his mind. It wasn't a lot, but it meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for his, those few phone calls and things that he helped me with and ideas and those presentations that I heard, so now even today, even like 10, 12 years later, I'll still be grateful. I'll still honor him. And anyone that's mentored me or helped me, whether it be family, friends, mentors, trainers, I'll always honor them, be grateful for them. And I think it goes a long way. And now when I've got students, the students that honor me, let's say I help someone and then I see them just do a post of recognition and stuff like that, and they honor me and are grateful for me, it makes me want to do more. So I'm thinking, oh man, how can I go the extra? And I think that spirit of gratitude and honor and recognition, I think is just so powerful, and ultimately, even selfishly speaking, because you give, but then selfishly speaking, the people that give more get more.
Yeah,
and that's just.
I think there's different ways of looking at like gratitude, because I also know, because I study a lot of Tony Robbins, and he always says the reason why the first thing he does in the morning is he does his priming, and part of the priming is thinking of 3 things you're grateful for, and you truly get in the present mode and you feel grateful for them things, and it sets you up for the day. And I was wondering when I was looking at it, why would being grateful first thing in the morning set you up for the day? Because being grateful for these 3 things takes 5 minutes, and then you've got the rest of the day. But this is the thing: you can't be grateful and sad at the same time. So if you live in a world where you're constantly grateful, you can't be sad because it's completely opposite, and you can't feel 2 things at once, two emotions at once. So
true.
So living in a world where you're grateful all the time, it will eliminate the sadness.
Agree. And people that are ungrateful, and all, and that's why when I see people, on social media or whatever, and they're complaining or they're bitching, I actually I almost feel sad because I know if people are that they're miserable, they're sad people. Yeah. So I totally agree. So that's definitely for me, that's like really important. Being grateful and just having a good attitude, I think will go a really long way. And then thirdly, because you asked me 3 things, I would say is being able to negotiate a deal. Being able to negotiate a deal. But here's the thing: if you combine those 3 skills, boom. Here's why. You negotiate a good deal. You're a hard negotiator. You know how to negotiate. You know the script. You know what to say. But you do it from a position of actually also wanting to help the other person, having a good attitude, and with knowing your numbers.
Yeah.
You just can't not have a massive business when you do those 3 things.
So would you relate all of them 3? Obviously, you've related all of them 3 things to property.
Yeah.
So to be
that's everything.
Just in life, they're the 3 things in life that you think you'd need.
Marriage, having a business, staff, landlord. Whatever. You need to be grateful and have a good attitude. You need to be able to crunch numbers in the deal, and you need to be able to negotiate. Even with family, you need to negotiate. I negotiate with my 2-year-old girl. You have to negotiate.
What did you negotiate about?
Whether she keeps putting the bunny in her mouth, and it's actually causing her problems.
Right.
So I don't want her to have the bunny. So I want to take the bunny off her, but then I'll take the bunny off her, but then I'll give her something else.
Do you feel like everything that you can apply in property everything can be applied in real life as well?
Maybe not everything. Like being able to work out the return on investment of a HMO isn't going to help me with my kid.
Yeah.
But the general skills of
negotiating, communication,
win-win.
Like that.
I want you to win. I don't want you to have the bunny in your mouth and mess your teeth up. But at the same time, I don't want you to be real sad. Yeah. So I'll take the bunny off you, but then I'll give you this instead.
See, I find you a really knowledgeable person with lots of. You've got your property goals, and you do your property, and you do your training, and you're like, since the day I've met you, you've always been the kind of person that will always give good advice. So is there anything else that you're thinking of doing in the future other than property and training?
Dude, I know property too well. Like, the thing is, if I tried to advise on other stuff, like I just mentioned about marriage and kids, and I'm not the dude to go to advice when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Right.
I'm all right, But when it comes to like health, for instance, I'm trying to get in shape and I'm doing stuff. I don't want to teach that because I don't consider myself an expert in those areas.
Yeah.
And I might be good. I might offer some advice to my friends or whatever. But when it comes to actually doing like training and teaching people and people looking up to me as a role model in those areas, But when it comes to making money and investing money as a property entrepreneur, dude, no one beats me. I'm the best. So. And I feel that I can speak with complete confidence and conviction and authority because I've done it like a million times.
I often hear people say, well, how do you know he's the best? But the stats kind of speak for themselves. How many people were on Winners on a Wednesday? Well,
we've got people every week.
Every single week.
Yeah.
Do you know, I sat back the other week and because I saw there was the two ladies from... where are they? It was the two, Emma and Katie.
Yes.
That are smashing. And I thought, every week there's new people on Winners on a Wednesday.
Lives changed.
Like, I sat there and I thought, there wasn't any doubt, but I did think to myself, is this ever going to run out? Because I actually can't see it happening. Because we're at these, me and Anthony are joining you at these crash courses every week. We're helping at the academy trains. And the amount of people that this is changing, like, this isn't going to stop.
The day that I can't get people on Winners Wednesday is the day that I'll have to quit training.
Never.
I don't think, as long as I'm training, it's never going to happen because the training works. And I think that Winners Wednesday as well, that's just the people that want to come on the show.
Yeah.
Like, you ask Amelia, we've got people that are financially free. We've got people making 10 grand a month and they go, oh, I'd rather keep low. I'd rather keep my head low. And I'm like, I mean, okay, sometimes I get it. I don't agree with it, because I think that you should, once you become successful, my makeup is that you then have a duty and a responsibility to share that with other people.
Yeah.
And I also think that it's good branding. It's good for me because I love people sharing their stories on my channel. It gives my channel content.
Yeah.
See, people say to me, Samuel, I watch your YouTube videos. They're amazing. It's not my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We're firstly, we're a media team. Secondly, only half of the videos are me.
Yeah.
The other half, I'm interviewing other people. I'm chatting with other people.
And from a branding perspective, that's incredible.
Yeah, because we've got like 150,000 subscribers now.
Well, I know just from my winners on a Wednesday, my mailing list and my investors list, that took off.
Yeah.
Just from that. So I think it's not... Obviously, people like to do things their own way, and if they don't want to go on, whatever. But if people have an opportunity to actually go on there, from my experience, I'm sure Anthony, James, like everyone that's been on there would agree. From a branding perspective, one of the best things you could do.
I think so.
Because you've spent a lot of time and money getting your YouTube. Well, a lot of time. I know that,
and money because we have to pay videographers.
Yeah, like it costs a lot of time and money to set up what you set up.
These microphones are expensive. The lights are expensive. But you know what? We don't have a problem getting people on Winners Wednesday.
Nah.
It's easy because we've got so many people becoming successful in property from the training. So.
Oh, and the meal the other day.
Yeah.
By the way, that was so good.
What happened?
Well, we was like, when you're on Winners on Wednesday, there's this group, it's like a networking community and stuff. And we had a message saying, we're going to meet up in London for a meal.
Yeah.
It's all paid for, it's on us. So I was like, sounds good, let's go. And do you know what? It was a networking meal and we sat down and stuff. But the biggest thing I took from it was just the positivity in the room.
Yeah.
Like everyone stood up and shared a little bit about what they've done. Well, it was meant to be, okay, everyone's going to stand up and share a little bit about what they've done over the last year or 6 months, whatever it may be. But it didn't actually end up being that because no one really wanted to talk about what they've achieved. They wanted to talk about more how other people are doing and how good it is to be around these people. Yeah. Yes, everyone's succeeded there and everyone's done well, but it was more about, look how positive this room is.
You know what was amazing in that room though? I think there was 32. I think there was 32 people. I said, put your hand up if you're financially free. Everyone's financially free. Yeah. They wouldn't have been invited to the dinner if they weren't financially free. But then I said, put your hand up if you're making 10 grand a month. And just over a third of the room, there was like 12 people that put the hand up, which is really high. Because when I train people, like at the crash course and stuff, even on the academy, the goal is not to become really rich.
Yeah.
I don't say, come and be a millionaire or come and make, 10 grand a month. What I say is, come and make a few grand a month, replace your income and become financially free.
Yeah.
So that you have time, because the best things in life are free, but may as well cost the earth if you haven't got the time to enjoy them. So buy your time back. But what people do is they end up like you now. You say you're set to make 6 figures this year. They become financially free and then they just step it up. Yeah,
but it's because once you get a taste for being financially free and you get a taste of a few £1,000s a month, it's like a snowball. Yeah. You just want to get more and more.
Yeah.
Because it will help with whatever your mission is.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what to compare it to, but that's kind of what I'm going to say.
It's addictive.
Yeah, because it feeds what your purpose is.
Yeah.
And that if you go from starting with nothing, like you don't know, like me, I start with no property knowledge or nothing. If I know I can make a few £1,000s in property, which I did, then what's to stop me making 10,000 and 20,000 and go on and on? It'd be stupid not to.
If you had to advise your 2-year younger self as you're getting into property, top 3 things, go.
First thing would be education, because you can't do without the education. You can, but you'll make costly mistakes. You'll make mistakes with education, but you'll make costly mistakes without the education.
Yeah.
Second thing is implement, because you can get the education, but if you don't implement, then the education's wasted. So you have to implement to get the results. And the third thing is just be consistent. If you're gonna get education, you're gonna implement. You have to be persistent to hit the end goal.
Real simple advice, but so powerful and so true.
Yeah.
And I think that, me and you are people where people can look at us, be inspired, because we didn't come from wealthy backgrounds. We didn't get super educated at university. We just did those 3 things. We got the training, we took action, we were consistent. And I'm proud of what you've done, man. And
Cheers,
I'm really grateful for you as well. I see you giving so much value in the groups.
Yeah.
I see you on stage sharing from a position of love, and I'm just stoked. I'm so excited, and it's great to become friends with my students. And I'm glad to say you've become a good friend. And okay. So for anyone listening to this, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice and then you. I want to say, firstly, if you're watching on YouTube, please smash the like button, subscribe, and drop a nice comment for Ricky. Ricky gets enough bad comments. Please give him some nice ones. If you're listening on the podcast, leave a podcast review. Anything to add to that, Ricky?
If you're listening to this, you're listening to it for a reason. So do something, get to a crash course, keep watching the videos, keep being inspired, keep learning.
Yes.
And just take action, man. Do something.
You want to come to a crash course? It is www.property-investors.co.uk. See you there. God bless. Have yourself a wonderful evening.